Kia ora. I'd just like to welcome you all and open with a karakia. Whakataka te hau ki te uru, whakataka te hau ki te tonga, kia mā kina kina ki uta, kia mā taratara ki tai, e hi ake ana te atākura, he tio, he huka, he hohu, tihei, Māori ora. All right. Nau mai, haere mai, welcome to the Beautification Trust. My name is Louise, I'm the Marketing and Communications Manager here. We're delighted to welcome you here for our annual community update today. We've got a packed agenda, learning about the highlights of the last financial year from our management team, and then we'll also have some AGM resolutions from our board trustees as well. But before we get started, a few housekeeping notes. If you need the bathroom, there is a men's bathroom just to the right on the corridor, your first door on the right. Further along the back corridor, there's a ladies' bathroom, and by the reception where you came in, there's a gender-neutral bathroom as well. So please feel free to use the facilities if you need to at any time. In the unlikely event of an emergency, please exit through these big wide doors, or the emergency exit doors there, and the emergency assembly point is just out in the car park. So follow the fire wardens here and the staff at the trust, follow our directions, and we'll show you where to go. We have first aid kits and an AED on site, and all our staff are first aid trained. So if anyone needs any first aid assistance, please let us know. And Penelope at the back will be taking photos, which might be used on our website, social media and other publications. So if you don't want to be in any photos, please let Penelope know. And that's all good. So without further ado, I would first like to welcome Audrey Williams, our board chair, to start us off. Thank you, Audrey.
Thank you, Louise. I'd like to thank you all for coming in person and for those of you who are online. AGMs are normally a reflection of the past financial year. But if I stand here today, this is my last time to represent the board and as chair. I've done my 9 years at the end of June, so this will be the last time I will be here as chair. So I would like to take a little moment, not just to look back on the last year, but back to 2015 when I joined. I joined the board because I believed in everything this trust stands for, and for the enormous amount of work we do in our community. In the past 8 and a bit years, the work has not diminished. In fact, it has grown beyond belief. We've got so many new initiatives like the Tool Cafe, the Tiaki Fund. We've joined EcoFest, the Repair Cafes, Food Together, Recycling Centre, just to name a few of the things we've done in those 8 years. One of the main things I love about the Trust now and back then is how the staff here believe in their community. That has not changed. The heart of the staff and our volunteers has just been amazing over those 8 years. So I'd like to thank all our staff here for all the work they have done in the past year. You will see how well they've performed very shortly. But I would like also to thank my board for their support, their guidance, their dedication, not just our current board, but also those that have left us since I've joined. So I now would like to take the opportunity to introduce Daniel, our CEO, who's going to take it from there.
Kia ora koutou. Awesome to be here, and I just want to first of all extend a massive big thank you to every one of you. It's all because of this togetherness that we can work together and do some amazing stuff in our community. So that extends to our trustees, to our staff, to our volunteers, our funders, our sponsors, our local boards, and the numerous other community organisations that we partner with. It's only with your support that we can together connect and empower communities to learn, love and look after our environment. And so that we can see those massive impacts that we love so very much, that the communities have pride and feel safe, that the environment is healthier and cleaner, and ultimately that communities are connected and empowered. So I'd like to take a few moments just to touch on a few of the top line highlights before I let the team delve into some of the real cool feel-good stories and the detail behind the impact that we're having. So first up, we've done so much in that space of expanding our services. We've met the diverse community needs and environmental needs as well through KAI initiatives. We've helped reduce people's food waste, access to affordable produce. We've developed sustainable eating habits. We've also supported shoreline adaptation plans, the curbside food scraps rollout, and preparing now for our Bike Hub launch. So these efforts show just how adaptable we are at addressing the community challenges that we see around us. The community engagement is also on the rise. It's just been so absolutely astounding to see how many new volunteers we've had come on board and connect with us, and to just see the level of community support for now having over 20 different services that we operate here at the Beautification Trust. And financially, we're now stronger than ever. We've had some really strong growth and diversifying of our income streams. And last year, while it was, terribly economically challenging for our communities, we did actually see a bit of a growth here with 11% increase on what we've been able to achieve financially on last year. And that's testament of many of our programs, including our community recycling centre, which saw a double in the amount of sales and contributions coming in that side of things as well. Next up, we've got some real strong highlights in terms of advocating and strengthening our partnerships. We've done lots with EnviroHub's Aotearoa. We've done some amazing work with the Community Climate Action Network in Auckland to really try and help other community groups do more in that space as well. And EcoFest has just been absolutely amazing too, to have that connection with other EnviroHubs. And so much so that we've had a really strong engagement with our key stakeholders, really loving and recommending what we do as a trust. We've enhanced our operational efficiency. So we've done lots in our data side of things, our managing of our measurement and how we're measuring impact. We've done lots in terms of really working on our trust deed to make it fit for purpose, and also breaking away from our council-controlled organisation status to mean we can be more and more efficient and effective as well. And lastly, we've got really, really good, strong staff engagement. The staff engagement and satisfaction has been really strong this year, and we've tried to really support staff as much as possible with everything that they need, making sure that their health and safety is top of mind, making sure that there is wellbeing practices in place, and that we're investing really strongly in learning and development for them as well. So that's just a few of the top line sort of highlights, and I'd now like to introduce Sterling for the community programs updates.
All right, kia ora everybody. My name is Sterling. I am the Community Programs Manager here at Beautification Trust. My team does some of the coolest work that we do across South Auckland. So I'm just going to take a moment to introduce them to you all. So Carolyn, can you stand up please? Carolyn is our volunteer coordinator. Erin, can you stand up? Erin is our community coordinator. Penelope, who is already standing, is our community educator. And as today is her very first day, Lenny, stand up. Lenny is our pest-free person. So give them a big round of applause, everyone. And so lucky to come into work every single day and work alongside her. And we also have to acknowledge Rohit and Charlotte, who were working with us for part of this financial year. They also give their passion as well into some of the projects that I'm about to talk about. So, got it. Here we go. Our community team highlights for last financial year. So the very first thing that I wanted to highlight was our involvement with some food scraps and our food programming here. We helped to do the rollout for the food scrap bins last year. You'll remember everyone got their little green bins. And part of that was to try and get the community active in using the services, understanding what goes into the bins and why it's an amazing environmental initiative as well. So one of the things that we were really proud of is Charlotte came up with this competition. She co-designed it with some St. Kentigern students, and we developed the Design Academy competition, where the kids actually had a good chance to make resources and inspire other children from different schools to get onto the service as well. Across the months that we participated in the food scraps rollout, we had 50 activations in schools. We reached about 1,900 people, and 1,300 of them were students. And then just as a way to try and tie all of their food scraps learning back to each other, we were able to distribute about 1,200 litres of Vertify, which is currently available across the parking lot if anybody would like to take some for their gardens today. Alongside our food initiatives, we also had Food Together. If you have never heard of Food Together, it's every Thursday from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. You can come on site, pay $15 and fill a bag full of fresh produce. Over the year that we've been running it now, we've sold 2,100 bags, and we have redistributed 1,000 kgs of food to the community through our Pātaka Kai services as well. Altogether, we have had an amazing group of volunteers who turn up every single week to help us from that. More than 800 hours of their input has gone into this program already, so we're really thankful for our Food Together volunteers too. Alongside those two, we also launched something called Different Dinners. If you've never heard of Different Dinners, we wanted to work with the climate team to see if we can change people's attitudes towards the kai that they consume by increasing their vegetable intake, having more veggie-based meals. And so Rohit and his team would cook up a fresh new sample of a hero protein. It might be like fritters or tofu or lentils or chickpeas or something, and then give the community a little bit of a taste of what could be done with vegetables, and help them to sign up for a 4-week program where they would come in, get a food pack, and then try a different recipe. And across the program, we had 105 people complete it, and 50% of them said that they had a 50% reduction in meat-based meals. And then we also saw a 200% increase in confidence cooking vegetarian meals as well. But all the way through that program, we had amazing feedback from our community that they really enjoyed it. So yeah, a great success. All right, now our community team also contributes to a bunch of different community network work groups as well. One of the ones that these are 4 that I wanted to really highlight. Pest Free South Auckland, we help to do trapping for Papakura and Manurewa. One of our big highlights is that we started a big halo project around Red Hill and Margins Bush in Papakura, and we had a really good uptake of people who wanted to put traps into their backyard. We're hoping that with learning supervision we'll go even further and hopefully get our South Auckland communities pest free by 2050, predator-free even. We also contribute to the Whakaoranga o Te Pahunui work stream. If you have never heard of Pahunui Awa, it is a beautiful tupuna awa that runs from the top of Totara Park all the way down into the Manukau Harbour. And we've worked with some amazing organisations like Sustainable Schools, Sustainable Business Network, The Roots, Kotuia, Te Marakai o Wirihana, Te Pāngamara Urufakaro, just to name a few. But we really want people to be restoring the awa in a long-standing way. We also contribute to EcoFest. We love delivering EcoFest. I think we had 65 events last year from South Auckland, which is about 2 a day. And we work alongside Waiata Resources Trust, Eco Matters and Kai Pātaki to deliver that every year. And then lastly, we have our illegal dumping work groups. So we look after some community network work groups across Manurewa and also Otara Papatoetoe as well, working alongside some amazing organisations. All right, and I just wanted to chat through some of our work programs for illegal dumping. This year we managed to make some beautiful signs up using the kids of Accelerating Aotearoa as our inspiration, and they designed the artworks for some of the signs. We also had Talking Trash, who are just so big in the waste game here in Manurewa, that we're helping people to give them hot tips and tricks to get rid of their waste, and also remind them to book in their inorganic collections as well. And then we also had some help from Etu Rako, who made some amazing cleanup events and got so much excitement generated through some pretty hard to reach communities. We're really happy with his contributions as well. But just for the illegal dumping work groups, I just wanted to kind of throw some stats out to you guys. So 290,000 people reached through social media through our subcontractors. We had more than 600 people engaged across 11 events. We installed a whole bunch of signage around Manurewa and Otara. And then we also established a small group called the 247 Cleanup Queens in Otara, and they were the ones who were able to help their communities out as well. All right, community initiatives. We are really, really proud to have just partnered and collaborated with so many amazing organisations throughout our community. We had 202 community groups, schools, kindergartens, artists, groups who reached out for support from us, and we were able to do amazing projects with them, 67 community projects in fact. And of that, we were helping them through our Tiaki Fund, our small grants, and then also our community tool library. We lent over 1,400 tools out from the last financial year, and we were able to award $14,000 worth of small grants as well. All right. We have also continued with our quarterly repair cafes. So of the 4 repair cafes that we held last year, we were able to repair 129 items at them. 35 of them were powered items, which equals roughly 496 kgs of waste that had been diverted for landfill, given a little bit of a chance at a second life, which in turn offsets 3,300 kgs of carbon emissions from the environment. One of the things that I really wanted to kind of put on everybody's radar is that there is currently a right to repair bill sitting at government. We were able to host a workshop where we got people to write letters to their local MPs asking them to really just support that right to repair, because we think it's an empowering thing that people can fix the things that they have in their own homes and make it an affordable thing instead of having to buy new all the time. And speaking about our repair cafes, we've also established our 5 on-site volunteer programs. We have the Rag Dolls, we have our Repair Cafe volunteers, we have Food Together, and we have our Recycling Centre volunteers and also our Spectrum Care volunteers. It's been really, really amazing to welcome each of these different groups on site every single week, to see them, to grow alongside them, and to see them contribute back to their communities as well. And we're really, really lucky that we have such amazing engaged volunteers here. For our education and workshops, we have engaged more than 5,700 tamariki and rangatahi across all of our programs. We had about 20 schools involved in our Adopt a Park program who contributed more than 4,700 hours back into the community and into the environment. We hosted 96 workshops here in the creator space, which engaged roughly 2,100 people. And we had 65 EcoFest events who reached 3,400 people. So I know that there's lots of numbers, but basically we're really proud of the amount of people we're allowed to reach out to and engage with. And we're really, really lucky that they have such great engagement with us as well. And for Adopt a Park, 1,500 kids, yeah. Doing lots of things like pest trapping, pest monitoring, planting projects, native animal conservation, water quality testing, rubbish pickups, murals, and graffiti prevention and reporting. We're really, really lucky that we have kids that are the eyes and the ears of our environment, and we help to support them through their efforts as well. All right, and then the last thing that I just wanted to touch on is our annual Eye on Nature program. This year, our theme for Eye on Nature was Act Local and Grow with Taio, and we were using the Puhinui Awa Restoration Project as our main source of inspiration. We wanted the kids to think about what the awa could look like, and how they might be able to take some of those actions back into their local schools, their parks, their places that they hang out as well. We worked alongside the Waiahua work streams. We had some consultation by their Maramataka consultant and their Reo Māori expert as well. And we were able to get some amazing resources made up so that the kids in our areas can tap into Mātauranga Māori and understand around why it's really important to look after the environment, how we can draw wisdom from the environment and stuff as well. So for school days, we reached 47 schools. Thanks to our local boards, we were able to subsidise all of them to come to the Auckland Botanic Gardens for free. We paid for their buses. They helped to contribute to the infrastructure as well, and that works out to about 1,231 year 5, year 6 students coming to participate in hands-on workshops, and we absolutely couldn't have delivered that without our 20 organisational partners as well. So we had a couple walking around here today, like garden to table. I saw you, yeah, there you are. And we had workshops on pest management, on waste management, on plant identification, and we just had 4 amazing days of so much fun with the kids. It's great. Our second part of Our Nature, we had our Wearable Arts show. We had roughly 420 students from 19 schools entering 85 garments. We also created a 3rd division this year. So now we have primary, intermediate and secondary schools, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. We also have a Beautification Trust staff pick. And we were just so lucky to have some amazing sponsors to go towards those prizes as well. We also developed some self-critical thinking skills, tools and resources for the kids. So some self-assessments about what will happen to their clothes when they finish the art project and what impact on the environment they might have, and just helping them to really get those critical thinking skills, which are going to be very helpful in the future for them as well. And then the last part was our creative arts program, where we had 18 ECEs primary schools engaged. We had 35 artworks entered, more than 200 children engaged as well. And we hosted their artworks at the Auckland Botanic Gardens again. And our show this year has just finished, so we just packed up yesterday. But yeah, it's been a full-on year for us, and I just want to say a huge thank you to my team again. We couldn't do anything without your guys' contributions and help, so thank you again. All right, and it's time for us to hear from Scott, who's our graffiti removal person.
Thank you, Sterling. Every year I'm amazed at how much more you guys manage to pack into the year. It's incredible the amount of programs that you guys, and I'm sure you guys would agree, that's pretty awesome mahi these guys are doing. When I first started here doing the graffiti removal contracts, it was 2013. I think we had maybe 2 or 3 other programs that we were running, so yeah, it's just been awesome to see it grow and grow. But I think it's important to remember that graffiti removal has always been at the core of what the Trust was founded on and what the Trust still is about just maintaining that sense of pride in the community. And we're really grateful to our lovely people at Auckland Council that continue to support us in our mahi and keeping our communities looking really good. Now, I don't have 100 slides of pictures of graffiti, I just have a couple. So I'm going to show you this first one here, which is not the weather map for the next week. It's actually a heat map showing the distribution of graffiti. This is for financial year 23, so the years 22 to 23. So this is the year previous to the one we're reporting on, just to show you a comparison. So if you look at that one, and then when I change it to last year, pretty much the same. So the distribution is not too changeable, but if you look up in Howick area, you'll see that it actually did get a little bit of something going on there. Now that was caused by one tagger. Yeah, so that guy came into the community, he started messing the place up, causing all sorts of problems. And I quite often get asked, do you guys ever catch these guys? And the short answer is no, but in this case, we did. And, yeah. when I say we, wasn't us, it was actually working with the local police community team, and their sergeant, who used to go up the main road for a coffee every morning, said, "What the hell's going on here? You guys let's get some action going." So they actually worked really closely with us and sharing intel. And yeah, they caught the guy and actually got him before the judge.
Wow.
And got a prosecution. So that it's rare, but it does happen. So I just want you guys to know that the police do get involved, and they also active out there and trying to catch these guys and held them to account, because they do a lot of damage to a lot of businesses, and it costs a lot of money to remove it. So that is that. Just one slide on some numbers there. So 8% decrease from the previous year in graffiti removed, and we attended 23,734 incidents of graffiti. So yeah, good time to actually give a shout out to my team, who is out there every day actually doing the stuff. I'm sitting in the office and they're wondering what I'm doing. I think they do a really thankless job some days, and they're the unsung heroes that get out there early mornings, 3 in the morning, traffic closures, up on top of shops and bakeries and roller doors before the shops open. So yeah, I just want to give a shout out to that team. One of the people that was in that team, who has now joined our office support team, I just want to give an acknowledgement to. Now, where is she hiding? So everybody's the back is Tiwani. Tiwani is an amazing resource for us, amazing person that has a really gentle way and a lot of experience in graffiti removal, which is now going to come in-house and help us with the tricky stuff and the day-to-day stuff as well. So welcome to Tiwani. Just moving down there, just some more numbers there. So a total of 30,164 tags removed. So most of these are done under our Auckland Council graffiti contract, but I also would acknowledge Vector, who we also have a graffiti removal contract with. We were removing graffiti for Kiwi Rail, and I'm sure that people may have some questions around why that's not happening. And the short answer is there's no money and there's no will to prioritise graffiti. They've got railway tracks to maintain, that's the short answer. Hopefully that'll change in the future, but for now we're not removing graffiti, but we are still engaged with them. Just quickly going through here, so 58,000 square metres of tagging removed, 100% response, that's to jobs that come through Auckland Council's call centre, so 100% in normal job priority, 97 for the high priority offensive stuff. So really good result there. And just quickly looking at that graph, that's just another way of looking at the distribution. So obviously Mandaroa, Papakura continue to be the hot spots for us. And let's hope how it comes back down, which I'm sure it will next year. Murals, I think, where are you, Sterling? Yeah, Sterling touched on murals as a great graffiti prevention initiative, and we also really encourage private businesses and community groups to get in touch with us to put murals up, because they are effective. A couple there, that was actually Kiwi Rail, the one on the left. So they are still engaging with us for some beautification work, and that's a good sign. The other one there is over in, if you're around Kiwi Esplanade, that's an Auckland Council toilet upgrade mural that we did. So in total there were 17 murals completed either through the community team or through our graffiti prevention fund from the council. And we have 2 awesome artists. So the one on the left was Bungie Matthews. He's also a graffiti in the graffiti removal team, and Pascal on the right did that one, and they're both actually in the graffiti removal team. So it's really good to have that positive preventative initiative in action. And yeah, I encourage anyone out there that's looking to get a mural done, come and see me afterwards. If you've got money, even better. And lastly, I'll just touch on one other initiative. A fund that was put through our graffiti removal contract was an initiative to come up with some other ideas to help reduce or prevent graffiti vandalism. And so This was something that Daniel actually thought of one morning in his sleep and said, "Hey Scott, what do you think about this?" So what this is it's still murals, but it's actually digital. And what we do is we find a mural that's already been done by an artist, take a really nice high quality picture of it, and then digitally print that same mural onto ACM board, which is aluminium board. And then our lovely boomers put a nice wooden frame around it, and we take it around, find some hot spots, places that are getting tagged, and put them up. So this is a new trial. It's just a trial at this stage. So we put 12 boards up, and just to gauge how those are going to hold up out there in the community. I think so far, pretty good. They haven't been damaged. Graffiti, taken home, put up in people's garages. But yeah, it's a good initiative, and yeah, well, hopefully we can expand on that. And the beauty of these, of course, is that we can, if they're not working in certain spots, we can take them down and put them up in other spots, or if they get damaged, we can easily replace them. Whereas, obviously, with the cost of murals sometimes can be prohibitive, and the cost of removing graffiti can get expensive. So yeah, that's a nice new initiative that we're rolling out this year and beyond, hopefully. And I think that's probably me. Are we taking questions at the end of the...
Questions at the end.
At the end, okay. That's me for now, and I'm going to pass you on to Amber, our Zero Waste Manager.
Good everyone, I am Amber, and it has been my honour to be the Zero Waste Manager here at the Beautification Trust for the last 10 months. So I manage the Community Recycling Centre, which hopefully you've all been to and picked yourself up a nice little goodie in there. And we have an absolutely incredible team of staff and volunteers who help us run the store. And I'm going to take you through some of the things that we have achieved in this financial year. So our team consists of 9 team members. So it's Colette, Naomi, Joanna, Nina, and Mikey. And then we've got our wonderful casuals. We've got Stephen, Carmen, Kate, and Laura. And we have around 12 volunteers who come and help us every single week. And they do between 2 and 5 hours each to help us achieve our goal of educating the community about recycling. And we also want the recycling centre to be a real community hub where people can feel safe and excited to come to, and just love having a chat to us about recycling or reusing or the things that they've made at home from something that would have gone in the trash. So yeah, it's a really wonderful space, and yeah, I hope you have all enjoyed it. So some of the highlights from the last year have been we have diverted over 187,000 kilos from landfill. So whether this has been through the goods that we've sold in the store, or whether we have taken it to one of our recycling partners. Just a little FYI on this number, it may have been slightly inaccurate, but we have updated our reporting methods and it will be more accurate next year. We have had over 10,000 transactions through our till and over 12,000 people engaged in our zero waste services and programs, whether that is through visiting our shop or coming on site for a workshop or getting a site tour. And then we've had over 900 volunteer hours contributed to the CRC. And yeah, we couldn't have done it without our volunteers. They are extremely dedicated and wanting to get people to reuse. Yeah, and they make our workplace a very special place to be. Yeah, it's beautiful. So one of the highlights of this year for our volunteers has been a group called the Ragdolls. So at the beginning of this year, we were working with a textile recycler who could actually no longer receive textiles from us. So we kind of started putting our thinking caps on, thinking, you know, what can we do with all of this end-of-life textiles that would be going to landfill? And one of the things that we came up with is the Ragdolls. And they are a lovely group of ladies who come in every Monday morning with the promise of baking. They turn up. And what they do is we come and cut end-of-life clothing into rags to be used again for our graffiti crew when they have paint spills and stuff, so it gets another life. But they also have been seamstresses in past lives, or they've, just learnt sewing skills. So we thought, why not start a little repair kind of thing going on as well. So anything that's got like a tiny hole or just needs a button sewn on, we put aside for the rag dolls, and they repair them on a Monday morning. And in the last 3 months, they have mended over 54 items of clothing, which is really cool. But yeah, they love sitting down, having a wee chat or coffee. Yeah, it's really beautiful. Fill a bag. If you haven't heard of our $5 fill a bag events, where have you been? Because it is one of our most popular events that we run here. And we do it about every 3 months. And it is a wonderful opportunity for customers to come and fill a grocery-sized bag of clothing and shoes and bags. Makes it super affordable. And it's really great for us as well because it helps keep our stock levels manageable. In the last year or so, we've really noticed that people know where we are now. And they love to come and donate, they love to come and shop, but it also means we get a lot of clothes. So this event really helps us to keep that under control. And they've been really growing in popularity. With February this year was one of our biggest events. We had a couple of viral TikToks that brought people along, but also More FM found out about the event, not through our marketing team, they just kind of found out about it. And we opened the gate at 5 to 9, and just floods of people came in, and we had a line to the gate within about 5 minutes, and it was insane. We had sold out by about 10:30. But yeah, it's been really great. So it's a lovely way that people can come and get affordable clothing. And we have sold over 1,200 bags of clothing this way, which is equal to over 5,100 kilos, which is pretty massive. One of the other highlights for our team has been site tours. We've been able to go and see some of our recycling partners in action, which has been really great education. So we got to go to Ecotech, which is like a computer recycling place, and we got to learn about how e-waste gets broken down and separated. We went to ImpactX, where we used to send our textile products. And they turn it into a product called Retex, which then gets used as insulation or signs. And then Reclaim, where lots of Tamaki Makoto's recycling actually gets sent. But yeah, it was really great for our team to go and see these places and how it all gets processed so that we can then share it with our customers. Another highlight has just been bonding with our beautiful team. We have really become like a little whānau here at the CRC, and I think you'll notice that when you step in the shop, we kind of just have that family vibe going. And we have had quite a few team members being onboarded this year, with the shop getting just busier and busier. So yeah, we've been very privileged enough to do some team building and events. And I want to say a massive thank you to our CRC whānau, our team, our casuals, our volunteers. Without them, we couldn't keep this place running. And thank you so much to Auckland Council, who do a big bunch of funding for us, which is awesome. Our recycling partners and the rest of the Beautification Trust staff and board. We really couldn't do it without everybody's support around us. So yeah, thank you everyone. I will be passing on to Stacey.
Thank you, Amber. So I see a lot of new faces. My voice is going to crackle a lot today, so just bear that in mind, and I apologise. I see a lot of new faces for me today. So for those who don't know the Boomer Shed, I am the Boomer Manager, It is a woodwork and metalwork shed for retirees or people who are 50 plus in the community. They come in, they can work on personal projects and also have the opportunity to volunteer and work alongside their peers to complete community projects for local organisations, community members, community just programs. And we get these project requests that come in, and it gives the guys in the shed the opportunity to give back to the community and have a stamp and say that they have participated in something greater for either the tamariki of their local areas or just partnering organisations with the same mindset through environmental practices or educational practices or just general, what am I, the word I'm looking for, healthy eating practices. So we get a broad amount of projects that come in. If you have any projects, come see me later, we need more. We're always keen to take on more. So we're a community shed. I see a lot of community members in the volunteers for the Boomer Shed here today. So if you see one and they're roaming around, introduce yourself, say hi, get to know them. They're really lovely, very funny, and they love their scone. So I'm sorry if you didn't get a scone today. They were all gobbled up by our guys in the shed. So I'm sorry if you didn't get one. So going forward, so the Boomer Shed in the past financial year, we've done 39 community projects, 1,294 volunteer hours have been participated by the volunteers in the shed, and we've completed 4 very large projects for the community, which has eaten up a lot of the time in the shed by a lot of our members, but we've still managed to give back to the community in a very nice way. The 4 large projects that the Boomers have been working on in the last financial year, as you can see in the photos, there's one really amazing project that the boys have all been working on together. It's been a very lovely project. It's been an e-waste recycling project where 3R, one of our partners with the Graffiti team for our paint buckets recycling facility, they get a lot of recycling and a lot of products given to them where they dismantle them and try to find ways to repurpose them. They had over 400 pram wheels that they wanted to know what to do with. And so we put our hand up and said, let's take them, let's make a great project and give back to the community. So we upcycled these and turned them into 70, we aimed for 75, we've completed 25 so far, balance bikes for all of the local tamariki preschools in our area. So it's been a really awesome project. It's been a lot of work, a lot of sanding, a lot of painting. But in the photos you can kind of see just up here one of the preschools that we managed to give to, which was Best Start in Papakura, and the kids just took like butter to these bikes, which is really awesome. So the next step is to distribute them to the rest of the preschools. It's an ongoing thing. We're looking to upcycle the rest of the wheels for wheelbarrows for the preschools as well. So it's still an ongoing project, and it will be an ongoing project because you have a lot of wheels to go. So if you're interested in a wheelbarrow, put your hand up and come see me later. Or if you're interested in some wheels, you can take some today. We don't mind. But we've had some really awesome projects. We've had projects for all the preschools, which have been fairy houses, which have given the members some great opportunities to put their creative minds to action and come up with some great little houses. We've got an amazing project, which if you do a tour afterwards, I'm happy to show you through, and I'm sure the members who, if they're here today, can explain it. We've got 3 mural boards for the Blind Low Foundation up in Manukau. They're doing a tactile walls for their residents, which is really awesome, and they're incorporating amazing attributes from Māori to interactive education. Definitely go and have a look, go have a tour, go see it. It's a great project, but they're big projects, so they're eating up a lot of time. So if you're 50 plus and you also want to join the Boomer Shed, I have registrations just for you. We have also done some amazing work with the Repair Cafe from the community team. So we currently, you can see the 39, if you were here last year, we did a lot more projects. In the last financial year, we have reduced in what we have recorded for total projects just because they're being smaller projects and they're being recorded through the Repair Cafe side on the community team stats. So it's been a cohesive project between the two groups, but we've been changing the way, again, another change, changing the way we record our stats. So next year it will replicate the amount of projects that we actually have. So far in the last 3 months, we've doubled the total stats then compared to last year. So just with that one change, we've made that adjustment. It's been corrected. But yeah, the boomers have done some great work. I'd just like to also take the time to say thank you to a lot of the boomers who have been volunteering in the last financial year, as well as this financial year. There's a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of thought process that goes into all of these projects. Currently, I want to take some really specific time to thank the tutors. Without these tutors, John, Paul, and Gary, these 3 amazing guys. Actually, John and Gary, you want to stand up? You're here today and just wave and give them a round of applause. So John and Gary, not only do they help and participate in community projects and guide and educate other members in the community to be able to get the skills to complete these projects, they also spend time with members in the community who need extra assistance to be able to participate in these projects and get them to a level where they have basic skills and basic abilities to work on projects. So they do a lot of work, and you could almost say 1/3 of the volunteer time is dedicated by our tutors, as they spend almost all of their time in the shed participating with members in the shed. We've also seen an increase of 10 members in the shed in the last financial year. So last year we were at 28 members in the shed active subscriptions, and this year we are now at 38 and rising. So that's really awesome to see. We've increased to 3 tutors, where before we were 2 tutors, and we needed to increase to kind of counter that amount of extra need in the shed. So it's really awesome. So thank you, John, and thank you, Gary, for all the hard work. But that is me, and I'll pass on to Louise.
Thank you, Stacey. Kia ora again, everybody. I'm Louise, the Marketing Comms Manager, and I'd also like to introduce you to Naomi, the Marketing Comms Specialist, who's actually just joined us about a month and a half ago, and she's just running the online session for the meeting. We've got a few people joining us online. All right, I'll try and work through this quickly for time. But basically, our role is to raise awareness about all the amazing mahi that these guys manage. So we're really a support role for the organisation. So this is an overall snapshot of some of the key results that we've achieved this year. We've really raised awareness about our kaupapa and our mahi through multiple channels with social media and PR and news media, and having a high level of community support through our community survey as well, which is really awesome. And this has driven the true outcomes that we're looking for, which is all that engagement that we're seeing with all of our programs. Social media remains probably our most important channel for raising awareness and engaging communities with our kaupapa. We've really embraced short form video content and platforms like TikTok to engage with a younger audience, and this has led to exceptional growth in our followers and engagement. Our content was viewed over 1 million times in the last financial year, so that's really fantastic. And content highlighting the Manurewa Community Recycling Centre and Reuse Store has performed particularly well, tapping into those global trends around second-hand shopping and rejecting fast fashion. We've also had some really great results with PR and earned media. So we've maintained a really strong media presence through building those relationships with journalists and pitching those stories of impact that you're hearing about today to diverse regional and multicultural media outlets. The Food Together pop-up launch was really a big media magnet for us. It coincided with that national conversation that we were all having about the rise in food prices. So it was really relevant at the time for our communities, and lots of media outlets jumped on that. We had One News, Whakaata Māori and Pacific Media Network, among others, doing coverage on the Food Together pop-up. So that was awesome to just raise that awareness of our mahi to provide affordable kai to South Auckland communities. And we've also seen this work in raising awareness translate to greater engagement through our website. So our website's seen more than double the number of visitors this financial year than 2 years ago. which is really great to see that growth continuing. It's a really good indication of people actually seeking us out and wanting to find out more about what we do. And we're always trying to work on those continuous improvements to the website as well, and provide a really good experience to those community members who are wanting to find out more and get involved. And this really has all driven the thing that we care about, which is that in-person visitation and engagement with the Trust. So we're seeing the evolution of the Trust into a real hub for community engagement, and foot traffic has more than doubled year on year. And I think really that's down to the popularity of some of those key on-site programs like the Manurewa Community Recycling and our Food Together pop-up. And these initiatives have really just transformed our site into a well-known community hub, and also bringing more people into our space to learn about and engage with some of the other things that we do. They're really good gateway programs for people to get involved in other ways, which is awesome. Another really important aspect that we've been working really hard on as a marketing and comms team is our advocacy. We recognise that individual actions for sustainability and for climate must be supported by systems change and government policy. So we've really strengthened our advocacy voice for environmental protection, climate action and waste minimisation. So in the lead up to the 2023 general election, we joined the Climate Shift election campaign. That was a collaboration between a bunch of environmental organisations like Greenpeace and Forest and Bird, and advocating for robust and meaningful climate action from all political parties across the spectrum, and getting them to make those commitments in the lead up to the election. We also campaigned against the Fast Track Approvals Bill, making both written and oral submissions to Parliament's Environment Select Committee, as well as marching down Queen Street in June 2024's March for Nature. And finally, as we've already sort of mentioned, that we've also been supporting the Right to Repair bill. So we've been hosting letter writing workshops at our repair cafes and encouraging participants to write letters to their local MPs and ask them to support the bill through its first reading. So yeah, lots of work going on, and really just to tautoko everything that you guys are doing, and make sure that as many people are as aware and involved with what we do as possible. So a big thank you to Naomi, and also to Lauren, who was in our team previously as well. We couldn't have done it without you guys, and yeah, thank you very much. I'd now like to pass on to Audrey for our Treasurer's Report.
I get to do the real boring stuff, unlike these guys. Before I do go on to this, I would just like to say a big thank you again to the team. As you can see, they've worked incredibly hard this year, as always. We've had some massive results. Our mana in the community is just growing so massively because of all this hard work. So please, can everybody thank the team for everything they've done? Okay, we have had another strong year for growth in income, with our total income is at 2.9 mil. On last year, it's up by 11%, and that goes down to the hard work this team do. The investment in delivering to the program community has grown and is now approximately 1.2 million. Plus, we also created 7 new local jobs, which I think is incredibly important in this time, because it's pretty tough out there for everybody. So to be able to have 7 new jobs into this business, into this community, is amazing. The diversity of the income source continues. It also goes with more income now coming through store sales from the CIC, and the interest in our reserves, and along with the new contracts. Although we have been able to remain effective and efficient in how we steward the funds we're working with, despite the increased costs and challenges, economic environment where we all are aware has been pretty tough this year. Auditors from BDO have approved our accounts, and as accurate and fair. Sorry, I need to scroll down on this. I can't do it one-handed, sorry. Thank you. So what we have left over from this year will be put to our resources to ensure we have what we need in event of contract loss. And if we need to secure a different building, or if the opportunity of a business expansion or purchase comes up. So, is there any questions on the finances? This is where the board comes in. Do we have the 5 board members?
Yes, we do. Yeah, there's a little bit more.
Okay.
The next slide.
Next slide. No.
We'll go to the
We'll go back to
resolutions
the
after.
We'll go to the resolutions after. Okay, thank you. So, Daniel.
Cool, just to sum up, I wanted to tell you just about a couple of little things that are coming up in the future. There's 3 things that we're really looking forward to in this coming financial year. So these are around, we're looking forward to the future and expanding further on some of our programs. So one of them is our bike hub. So we've got that opening in just a few weeks' time in November. We will be opening up the first Manarewa bike hub. So that will be on the corner of Browns Road and Dalgety Road, and it's a really great way that we can connect with people who want to engage a bit more in cycling and have their basic repairs done for them, and maybe even purchase a second-hand bike as well. So that will be really, really exciting for us in the new space. We'll also be growing our Kai programs further. We've had such a success this last financial year, and it's a real community need, so we're going to be supporting the community more with some extension of Kai programs, in particular around trying to encourage people to make the most of the food that they do have and avoid any food waste. And again, just continuing to invest into our support for our staff. So we've got some really good HR systems coming in place, and we're looking at how we can better support the team with flexible working environments as well. So those are just 3 of the key things that we're looking at doing this coming financial year. And lastly, just to acknowledge from me, this is not possible without you and all the amazing support that we have from the community. So there's just a very small snapshot of just some of the organisations that we want to acknowledge today up on the board here. But there's so many more than just that as well. So if you've got any involvement with the Trust, I just want to give you my sincere thanks for all the support that you do. It's only because we can work together that we can be so strong and have all this impact in our local community. So thank you. Now it's you, Audrey.
Now it's me. I'm just going to quickly change hats from the board to my role as GM at Business Manukau, or Manukau Heart of the South. We've worked along with the Trust on some mural projects this year. And you saw one of Rainey's works earlier when Scott was speaking. If you are in Manukau, have a look around where Woodside is, where the Wiri Licence and Trust area. It is a magnificent mural that is one of probably the longest I've seen in a while. But yeah, the work the Trust do has such an impact on our community. I'd just like to, on behalf of my work hat, say thank you. Now, go back to my other hat and the resolutions. We have received apologies from Solf, Avril, Holly and Luella today, so I have to note those. The minutes of the meeting have been, of last year's AGM has been distributed, and I would like to move that those those minutes be accepted. Can I have a seconder? Marshall, thank you. Of those board members, is Franco online? So we do have a 5, thank you. All those in favour? Thank you, it's passed. Our second resolution is to approve the audited 2024 accounts as presented. Can I have somebody to move those? Marshall, side to second it, thank you. All those in favour? Any objections?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Say is second. Marshall, it was moved. And the final resolution is the appointment of the auditors for the 2025 year. To approve the appointment of MFA Limited or Hall and Chadwick as auditors. Still waiting on a negotiation with the two. So can I have somebody to move that, Marshall? Ian will second it. All those in favour? Thank you. Any questions from the floor? Pass one to Louise for this.
All right. Yes, that is the end of us speaking to you. So now you may speak to us. Do we have any questions for any of our team, our board members, our managers? And anyone who's joining us online, please feel free to pop your questions in the chat and Naomi will read them out for you as well. You're always welcome to stick around and have some more morning tea and come chat to us in person individually as well if you have any questions. Okay. All right.
I have a quick question for you. We are losing in June 2 board members, myself and Solf, because we have, as part of our constitution, we can only do 9 years. So if you would like to consider coming onto the board, please come see me or Daniel. Yeah, we will have some spaces, and I have to say it is an awful lot of fun.
Thank you, Audrey. Okay. All right, I would like to close with our karakia. Unuhia, 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 ki te uru tapu nui, kia wātea, kia mama, te nākau, te tinana, te wairua I te ara takata, koia rā e rongo, whakairia ake ki runga, kia tina, tina, huie, taikie. And if I could have all of the Beautification Trust team, staff team, stand up with me at the front, please.
Oh yeah, stand right at the back, guys. That's the way to do it.
All right, please feel free to grab another cup of tea with us, and if you'd like to take a tour of the Trust as well, we'll be happy to take you around and show you in person some of the things we've talked about for today. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for joining us, and thank you to those of you who joined us online as well. It's been a real pleasure. Ngā mihi.